DJI status in the USA updated. Got that coming up next. Bill, Drone Reviewer here. If you like the content of this video or anything on my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. With that, let's begin. The other night, I hosted Rotor Talk Live and was joined by Mr. Ron Brown. We spent the better part of the evening discussing all the latest about DJI status in the USA updated. We talked about the DJI Mini5 Pro. We talked about other DJI non-drone releases that are coming up. We also brought up the white paper that DJI came out regarding security concerns and a whole lot more. So without any further ado, let's roll that clip in its entirety. We're going to kind of encompass all this right here with DJI status in the USA, and we're going to do an update here. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the Mini5 Pro, and Jasper Allen's had some more information on that. Yes. And I wanted to get out here and get and share this information out here with everybody. If you want, DJI is going to release the Osmo 360 Nano and Mic 3 in July, and we just covered that. The release date of the Mini5 Pro. Tried to double check the date, but not succeed in doing so. But because said bird has always been my well-informed source, this has never been wrong, I'm going to spill the tea anyway. Mini5 Pro set for August 7th. I will start with the bomb you've all been waiting for. A Mini5 Pro set to release August 7th, 2025. Not delayed. That's only 7 weeks away, so we're pretty excited about it coming up early. Sadly, other than the date, my friend couldn't tell me anything else about the Mini5 Pro. Luckily for all of us, some Chinese influencers made some mistakes this week. So at last, we'll have 2 accidental pictures of the upcoming Mini5. There's one here. DJI Mini5 recent prototype spotted. There's another picture right here.
That's the old picture.
Yeah, and that's the old picture with the LiDAR sensors in the front. And there we are again with these 2 pictures. But wait, another.
Bill, before you go on, do you think we're really that the final selling one's going to have those pop guards on it?
I think those are just for show. I think that isn't for go. I mean, they'll probably be optional. You probably be able to take them on and off. But I think as it comes, I don't think you'll see that with that on there. And I think what we're seeing right here in this little inset in this picture right here, I think this is pretty much going to be like a finalized version of what it's going to look like. And I think it looks a little wider normally than what some of the other minis. With the Mini5 Pro release,
we've heard that it's going to be a bigger footprint.
Right. July might be the day DJI will tease us with the official Mini5. 31st July might be the day DJI will tease us with the official Mini5 Pro teaser. Timeline also matches with, it's probably the reason why DJI is already selling the DJI Mini 4s and Mini 3s with crazy discounts, okay? Which is true, okay? But, you know, we're going to, and I want to get to this next article here before we begin a discussion. You know, and one of the things that, let's see here. Okay, and Ron alluded to this, and I went out there myself today. Every DJI drone is out of stock on the company's online store. And I went out and verified it out there, and I looked. Everything is not out of stock. It's not available when you go out there.
Yeah, every drone. If you look real hard, you can find a few things like some of the Mic 2 kits are available, like the phone gimbals available in some forms. There are some things, but no drones.
Yes, no drones on this as well. And let's see here. There's another.
Bill, have you heard of it? We've all heard of instances where DJI drones are being held in customs, right, all across the country, right?
Right.
Have we ever heard of an instance where a non-DJI product got held at customs? Like, remember at the holidays, everybody bought the Power 1000 when it was on sale. I don't remember one person saying their Power 1000 got held in customs or anything else. There, Mike's.
I got mine in 2 days when I ordered it.
Yeah, and Mike's cameras, nothing else is being held from DJI but the drones, right? So it sounds like it's a DJI drone ban, but not a DJI tech ban.
Right. Now, there's a white paper that
But the
came
strange
out.
thing is you can't get the Action 5 Pro. It's not available on the site though. The
Yeah.
US.
And that's kind of funny. That doesn't fit the rhyme or the reason or the pattern here. And you can see right here, new DJI report highlights major drone privacy upgrades, privacy by design, controlled by the user. A central theme in the white paper is DJI's belief that users should remain in control of their data. And device security starting at the chip level, application hardening and SDK oversight, communication security, OcuSync and 4G protected, cloud and offline data management, independent audits and certifications, bug bounty and community collaboration, which DJI was paying people to find bugs up to $30,000, meeting the moment, and to explore the full scope of DJI Security Architecture and see exactly what your data is protected. You can download and read the complete drone security white paper right here, and it's over 100 pages. So, you can read that at your leisure if you want to do something like that. But I mean, this is pretty comprehensive, Ron. They really covered everything from A to Z and soup to nuts. It covers everything. They don't leave any stone unturned with all of this.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of preaching to the choir here. We all know this and whatever, but it doesn't seem like our politicians and decision makers know all this about all the stuff DJI does for privacy.
Now, our good friend Casey Crimefighter dropped a comment in here that this process that the federal government wants to go through to check DJI out will take at least 6 months. All right.
Right.
So, it's and there's been no word if this has actually started or not. Okay.
Yeah, and we don't know if there will be a word. Like we don't know if we'll ever know anything until the test is done.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Dre's saying his Power 2000 was returned to China on the original shipment. So
okay, all right. Thank you, Dre, for that. So, and I know, and I watched some of you guys' show, and you guys had a great discussion here. This is a gray area for us. All of us who have been following drones for as long as we have, and knowing what we've seen before and everything, this is new territory for us, Ron. We've never encountered anything like this before. And, one of the things that we've been consistently used to over the years is there's been no rhyme or reason from DJI with their marketing and their marketing practices and everything. And then now they're just shutting down pretty much everything as far as availability of the United States is concerned.
Yeah, and Bill Thomas sent me a little thing he got from Dale, his friend Dale, who has a DJI dealership, and he said even the dealers are being told that this stuff won't be restocked. That they probably the dealers say they may never see another DJI product.
And that's
somebody's livelihood they're taking away, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, DroneWorks and other places like that who employ a lot of people here in the United States and other organizations like them. I mean, it's people make a living from this, and batteries are needed, propellers are needed. I mean, for all these drones that are currently in stock right now, and what happens? Do people have to go aftermarket, go out on eBay, go overseas to buy some of these accessories? I mean, how does that happen?
I see John Coopy's in the chat. John Coopy shared this. He made in the Facebook groups. He shared it in the Drone Nation group. He had a story where a gentleman had ordered the Mavic 4 Pro, Bill, from over out of the country. I don't know where he got it from, Korea, Canada, but he got a Mavic 4 Pro, and unfortunately, he dropped the Mavic 4 Pro and broke the gimbal. Well, he contacted DJI, right, Bill? And DJI reluctantly said they would replace the drone for him, even though he did not buy from them, right? So he sends the broken drone back to DJI. They send him out a replacement unit, of course, from China. it gets stuck in customs in Kentucky and never gets through. So, he contacted, DJI and said about it got stuck, and DJI tried to do what they could do, but they couldn't make any progress. He said eventually DJI even stopped responding to their email because DJI's not going to give him his money back because they didn't buy the drone from him, right? They bought it from some eBay seller or something like that, so they're not going to refund any money to him, and the drone's stuck there. So he's out a $4,000 drone. DJI is out their replacement unit because it's stuck in customs. They may never get it back again. So that kind of paints a bad picture. And plus, Bill, okay, is our care refresh that we have on our current drones like the Air 3S, is it kind of useless? Because if we crashed it, we had to send it back, the replacement unit may not get through customs to us. So our care refresh may be useless at this point because
That's true.
we may not be able to get a replacement drone.
Now, when I got my replacement for the Air 3S, it came through Canada. So, I mean, that's a possibility.
And things have gotten worse since then. That was back in the fall. Things are worse now. That may have not got through now, Bill.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're in what do you call code red here, as far as even our current drones may not really get, we may really not have the warranty if we had care refresh regular warranty because, again, they can't send us replacement drones.
Well, and thank you guys in the chat, Koopy and Casey Crime Fighter, Bill Grace, everybody. Comments, you guys are really very, very, very well done. Thank you for that.
And John Koopy saying in the chat that the warranty shipment came from Canada and got stopped.
Yep. Well, and this harkens to the fact, and I know you guys talked about this last night, and I still want to bring this up, is, the whole onus is they want, and meaning they, and they're talking our government wants to see a U.S. company, make drones. Okay. And you know what? I think we're all in favor of that. I don't think anybody here would disagree, but, and I think Lauren probably said it last night, it would probably take at least 4 to 5 years to get drones the level of what we're used to with DJI from a U.S. manufacturer.
Yeah, so why not wait to do the ban in 4 or 5 years when the American drones are ready?
Exactly. When American drones are ready to go, when they've been out there, they've been tested, and they're every bit as good as a DJI product, go ahead and do that then. But until then, don't do this. You're the one of the big things for me, Ron, is, and I'm looking at this from a first responder type of perspective, because I know there's a lot of organizations out there, not in the state of Florida, because they can't use them in the state of Florida anymore, but other states use DJI drones for first responders. They save lives. I mean, it's, part of
your point is people are going to die in the next few years, Bill, because they don't have the drones.
Exactly.
Ray sent us a Facebook message. I'll check it out.
Yeah, and Casey Crump, that's a good point. That they're going to be helping them with funding, but I think one of the big things that I'm concerned about is, the electronics, the motors, the batteries. Okay, who's going to be making all of that technology? Who's the best in the world at it? Okay, the Chinese are. All right, and the other thing is, all right, you're all hepped up on this. Why don't we have an American manufacturer making smartphones? Okay. All right. We have Samsung over.
Apple's an American company, but they just don't make the product here, which is common.
Yeah. Apple makes the iPhone.
GoPro's an American company, but the cameras aren't put together here.
And, and I'll go a step further. My HP computer that I'm using right now, made over in China. Okay. I mean, when does it end? I mean, it's all encompassing, Ron. It really is.
Yeah. And always begs the question, Why did all the bands have to start with drones? Why didn't it start with cell phones or computers? Who pinned the tail on a donkey and said, "Well, the first Chinese things we're going to ban is drones"? Who made that? Why was that call made?
You know, and I'm gonna say this, okay? In 107 drones, this is not. There's not one person or party that's responsible for this. This started years ago, before anybody was in, before the current administration was in power. Okay, this has been going on. This discussion has been going on for quite some time, and you know, we're not going to get into a blame game here. We're just, if you really, Ron, if you really want to come down to it, all right, our good buddy from Skydio was probably a great influencer on this.
A lot of people blame him. Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of people point the finger at him. I know Original Dobo does, for starting the ball rolling on all this. And all these are unfounded. Okay, all of this is unfounded. As far as the security concerns are, Ron, nothing has ever been proven regarding that. Nothing.
Right. Back to the bigger discussion, the Mini5. Somebody reported last night in the show, I think it was John Coopy. If it wasn't John, sorry, somebody reported that the Mini5 had already got FCC approval. So that means if the drone comes out and you buy from a South Korean company or in Canada, it would be legal in the US because it has been approved by the FCC. But that may be the last drone that gets FCC approval, because I think if nobody does that inspection by December, at that point, DJI won't be able to get any future drones through the FCC thing, right? So that means you won't even be able to bring them in from other countries and fly them. You understand where I'm going with that, Bill?
Yeah, I do. I do.
So the Mini5 Pro may be the last drone you see get FCC approval from DJI. So and it's a two-tier thing, Bill. Even though the DJI that date in December hasn't hit yet, where the drone has to be inspected or they're banned, but we're in a kind of soft ban from customs now. So right now, it's not that thing hasn't taken effect yet, but we still can't get drones because of the soft ban of the U.S. Customs Department. So really, according to the FCC, we're still legal to fly these drones that we can't get now, but customs won't let them in. And then come December, if that thing doesn't happen, then the FCC won't approve drones, and of course, customs isn't letting in. So I mean, the total ban is really coming at the end of December if that test doesn't happen.
Exactly.
But we're in the shadow ban now. So I mean, we're really no better off now. Except
this whole thing with like the Uyghurs,
we can smuggle drones in from other countries now and still fly them legally or whatever. But we won't be able to do that.
If you wanted to go up to Canada, buy one, and pay duties and customs on it when you bring it back through, more power to you. Okay.
Right. You can activate it from DJI. You can register it. You can get, you can go to drone.com and do everything you do. You can, right. But there's more power to you. Had FCC approval
for doing something like that. One of the things if you want to look at a specific person, Elise Stefaniak, she's the one that started the whole process rolling as far as a bill was concerned to outright ban DJI drones. And then it's kind of morphed and changed into several things. And, it's taken a whole mind of its own, so to speak, Ron. And it's really kind of morphed into this one now where one of the alphabet agencies is going to take a look at it. It's going to take a few months, and then they'll make a decision on whether or not, DJI drones are secure or are not secure. And based upon that decision, the federal government will act accordingly. So we don't know.
Look at, I'm going to pronounce the gentleman's name wrong. Femi Omamo. He has a good question there.
That is a good question.
And, you know, Bill, that makes I've been thinking about that myself. I'm glad he brought that up. You know, we say we're drone, right, Bill? We say we're drone fans. We say we're drone hobbyists. But when it comes right down to it, Bill, we're not necessarily drone hobbyists. We're DJI hobbyists. I mean,
Exactly.
for you and me, without DJI, there is no hobby. I mean, I don't really, outside doing testing purposes, I don't really fly anything else. So to me, DJI is the hobby. It's not drones. It's DJI.
I just had Holy Stone send me a drone to review, you know, and I know I know what it's going to do. Okay. I already know the whole thing. I mean, there's a $400 drone.
You know, you're outside of the review, you're never going to fly it again, right?
Right. I'm going to fly it once for a review video, and then I'll probably end up selling it on eBay. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And, you know, and I can tell you this, the camera's going to be so
drone hobbyists. We're DJI hobbyists.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Here.
Yeah, so, but we'll have to all get through. He's right. We'll have to all become 3D printer experts.
You know,
well, I mean, I'm kind of unlike. Well, you do a little bit, but unlike say you and Marcus, I already do a lot of action camera stuff. I already do a lot of non-drone reviews and tutorials on my channel. But I mean, I have to admit, they don't get the views that the drone videos do.
Well, yeah. See, I do a lot of technical reviews, and then, you know, I also have my ham radio channel, and I also have Bill of Technology reviewer as well too. And I can easily shift and adapt, you know, my channels to pick up things that are technology based, like computers, like printers, cameras, all that gear. Okay. But these guys who are doing this full time, wow, that's a real like Russ or Dobo or
all those guys too. I know a lot of the big channels. They still get DJI affiliate links and that stuff like that, or even if they're using Amazon. Those guys, all that affiliate money is gone because most of their viewers are in the U.S. and so those guys make thousands of dollars a year on affiliate money. That's all gone because you can't drop a link for something your customers can't buy.
Exactly. You don't, you know, we're at a point right now that, you know, the news is not good. And I would say one of my pieces of advice right now, Ron, to everybody is to go ahead and go out there for the drones that you have. If you're able to get extra batteries and props, do it. Just go out there and do that. And don't worry about new drones. Don't worry about build up your existing.
Yeah, and don't waste any more money buying Care Refresh because your replacement may not be able to get to you.
Yeah, you know, that would be where I would go right now. You know, we're going to talk about the Mini5 Pro when it comes out, obviously, but you know, we're probably going to be faced. I mean, it's probably going to be the same thing. We're
going to know before that, Bill, because you know the schedule for July. There's going to be a product coming every week from DJI. The Osmo 360 on approximately 715, the Nano on approximately 723, the Mic 3 on approximately 729, and now the Mini5 on approximately 87. That's 4 weeks in a row. We should be seeing new products released from DJI, according to the rumors and leaks or whatever. So we'll know. We'll see the dominoes fall, Bill. If all those products come out, you know, one by one, not available in the U.S., we know, right? We'll know something, Bill, right? Well, we'll know what we already hear now.
Exactly. You know, we'll know at this point in time, you know, what the future is for this. But
if those first 3 products aren't available in the U.S., it's 100% guaranteed the Mini5 won't be.
Exactly. You know, and well, we take a look right now. I know yesterday somebody said, yeah, that they went out there and briefly their products were available on the website, but back to today and there's nothing out there. So, you know, this is, like we said, this is a time to focus on what you have. I mean, you know, and I hate to harp on this quote, you know, I know Dobo has always said, fly what you got. And this is an instance where he is so right now.
Yeah,
because
but you have to put an extra waiver on that. Fly what you got, but be real careful with it. Don't wreck it because there's no replacements. Fly what you got, but fly very carefully.
don't fly with abandon. Okay.
Yeah,
And make sure, if you can, if you could buy like another Mini 4K, if they're available, do it, or a backup drone, do it. If you can do that right now,
maybe buy prop guards for all your drones.
Or prop guards, buy those as well too. And make sure that if your drone has obstacle avoidance that it's on. I would avoid things like don't be doing sport flying right now because that shuts off obstacle avoidance. I mean, these are just some tips I'm throwing out here as we're going along here, because you need to really guard that with all you can. Now, if I would crash something, State Farm would cover it. That's great. Can I get another Air 3S?
Yeah, they may give you money, but that money won't do you any good. You won't be able to get another one.
Yeah, I mean, it's dicey whether Adorama or B&H or
they're all out now too. They don't have any now,
and they don't have any. That means Amazon doesn't have any either.
Look at Jose Luna's comment in the chat. It's like 4 things back. He said he lives near Detroit. He ordered a 4 Pro and had delivered to a friend in Canada and had to go pick it up. And that's great, Jose. I'm happy for you. But here's the thing we talked about before. This is like buying a FEMI or a Hubsan drone now. You have absolutely no support after you buy that drone. That drone's yours or whatever. If you crash or even if something goes wrong, something doesn't work on it, it's yours. You don't, calling DJI, it probably not. Well, unless they can say you have to go across the Canada and get the replacement one. But for most of us, it's like how FEMI drone. Once you buy the FEMI, it's yours. FEMI doesn't want to hear from you. So that's the way it is now. You buy these drones and support ends the day the drone arrives.
Well, and this is a good point here to talk about this, Ron, is all these guys I mean, I love Mark Fischer. I love him to pieces. Just a great guy, okay? But I'm sure he paid a premium price to get his when he went to New York City, all right? And if something happens to it, he can't replace it.
And they made him buy Care Refresh Air, which is nice. But the thing is, if he needs a replacement drone set, it's a good chance it won't reach him. It'll be stuck in the local customs office. So he basically paid the Care Refresh. That money, he might as well just threw it out the window probably.
And I want to spend a minute talking about this whole customs issue that we're
now, that's the number one issue. Maybe not be in 6 months when the ban happens, but right now the customs issue is our main issue.
It is, and they've proven that the DJI, where they make the drones, Uyghurs don't live in those areas where DJI make those drones, which are in Shenzhen and over in Malaysia. Uyghurs don't live there, so it's unfounded at this point, and it's kind of a moot point
to the choir again. We all know you're right about that, Bill, but Stefanik and her bunch, they don't want to know it or don't want to hear it.
Yep, that's exactly right. And this is why, they're putting the pressure through customs to do all this. And it's just, it's just gotten nasty, Ron. It's just gotten really nasty.
MAH Photography has, well, we still get regular firmware updates to the drones. Yeah, I don't see why they would go to the trouble of, not letting them be on the internet to come to the U.S. I mean, I don't, I think it'd be more trouble them to stop the U.S. from getting updates and just not do anything at all.
Yeah.
Of course, but the older our drones get, the older models get less firmware updates. So, like, if you have an older drone like the Mini 2, it's not getting any more firmware updates.
Exactly.
Things like the Mini 3, probably not. Even a lot of the older drones, they're not getting them now. Whatever. Sure, the Air 3S is still kind of new. It's still getting firmware updates. And Mini 4 Pro, but the Mini 4 Pro, it won't get as many firmware updates once the Mini 5 is out.
Exactly.
So these older drones, again, you really the firmware updates get less and less every year as they age.
And you reach a point of saturation, and you reach a point of obsolescence, like the Phantom 4 Pro is, their service is going to be stopping on that, I think now in June or July.
Yeah. Look at Bill Grace's comment. He says, a backup, I have the Mavic 4 Pro insured by State Farm. And that's great. But we heard that the State Farm won't insure us. That's good news that they are insuring it. But the thing is, Bill, you may get, if you crash or whatever, you may get the insurance money back for the drone, but you probably won't, you may not be able to purchase another one, is the problem. Purchase it and get it through customs and all that.
Yeah. And
so,
Casey,
I'm sure people are getting them through now from sources, but I'm sure that's going to tighten down, Bill. I think it's going to be even harder to get drones from other countries going forward. Do you agree?
Yeah.
I think they're going to tighten the news going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's, where we're at right now, it's a very, it seems like it changes on a weekly basis what's going on.
It does. Yeah. Yeah.
And
whatever we believe this week may not be what's happening next week.
They may all of a sudden next week, you may see, the floodgates are open and you can buy products again through DJI, and suppliers are getting theirs.
Only if the customs guys get paid off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only if you see the guy running customs run around with a big envelope of money.
That's a good question, Waypoint New England.
That's one of those questions. You ask that question, you'll get a whole bunch of different answers.
Yeah, and one thing I can tell you about that is historically, a lot of people, I still have a Phantom 4 group that I created years ago, and people have been asking about batteries. And typically what happens is they've gone out to Amazon to buy batteries that are available on Amazon. And because they've been sitting there so long, they're almost dead. Okay. Yeah. So, but conversely, do you keep them at like a 60% charge? There's all kind of schools of thought.
You're going to get so many different answers or whatever to that question. And here's another thing, Bill. If you go on Amazon or eBay or something like that, there's a whole bunch of third-party company makes batteries for the popular drones. Like if you have an older drone and you can't get the batteries from DJI anymore, there's a whole bunch of people making third-party batteries for it. And I know that's a whole other discussion too. Some people have horror stories about third-party batteries, but other people use them just fine. So, but there are many third-party battery options for popular drones, even older popular drones.
Well, we're going to kind of wrap things up with this. Is say, if you can get batteries and accessories for your existing drones, do them right now. That's our best piece of advice.
Especially if you're looking for DJI official parts.
Right. You don't want to get the aftermarket batteries. I can tell you that right now. They're bad news. But if you can get official DJI batteries, props, those would be probably the two main items that you should do. Do it right now. Pay attention to what's going on out there. Guys, Drone Nation and Rotor Talk and the other shows, we'll keep you guys updated on everything that's going on. Question of the day: what did you think of DJI status in the USA updated? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's a great day to fly.